More baseball talk too, but now Canada's national summer sport. The St. Catharines Junior A Athletics regular season begins Wednesday night at home, Canada Games Park, and this season is a big one.
Everybody's talking, the buzz ain't just a beer. Radio man keeps saying, this could be our year. Huddled up headlights, team colors cross the lawn. Don't matter where you're coming from, we're here to get it gone. It's that hometown crowd, yeah, it's in our blood. And even when the clock runs out, we still raise the cup. It ain't about that hat trick, home run, big first down. Just looking for a little something we can rally around. Are you in or are you out? Ain't about seat in the house. Courtside or on the couch, we still get loud.
We're live at the Toronto Rock Athletic Centre in Oakville, Ontario. Ontario Junior Lacrosse League action here on trade deadline day. Two teams that will be active, but probably not in the way that them or their fans would have hoped they would be here at the deadline. Brampton Excelsiors, Oakville Buzz have been in retool, rebuild, re-renovate mode, whatever you want to call it, here for the past couple of seasons. Already some deals involving these two teams. Could be more before the day ends. We'll get you to all of that as the game unfolds. I'm Matthew Carrick in for the JVI Sports Network and the OJLL. As we get you set for this matchup, two teams with just 3 wins on the season for the Oakville Buzz. 1-10 are the Excelsiors coming in, including a 1-goal loss, their 4th of the season last night. 11-10, the decision in favor of Kitchener-Waterloo yesterday. Brampton controlling the face-off in their maroon and gold. Outside shot. That one spins Jackson McGarr, the rookie starter for the Buzz today. No Zach Constantopoulos in the lineup. Been told it is not for trade-related purposes. He will remain with the Buzz through the deadline. Finn Morgan. At least that's what I was told. Charlie Boone up to the restraining line, stepping up to meet it. Anthony Sedilot, goaltender from the Montreal area, who has played very well for this Brampton team. He'll be backed up by Marcus Medill, who got the start in the last 2 for the Excelsiors. A trade deadline acquisition from Connor O'Toole in a deal that snuck in just before the deadline last year. Here's Landon Jackal. He'll put it to the outside. Carson Robbins through the middle. That shot knocked down. As you may be able to hear, Troy Cordingley back on the bench. Here's Zach Warren. Shot that looked like just missed the foot of Sedilot, but referee Mac Abbott said it did hit it. Reset here for Oakville. Mac Abbott, Sean Grenier, Brad Fennell, the 3 officials. Charlie Boone, who's become an offensive powerhouse in the last week or so. Getting to Jamison Steele, far side on the run. His shot bounces off the goaltender. Another fresh 30 seconds here coming up for Oakville. Steele to the outside. Buzz have a habit of getting a lead early, getting the opening goal as they've done in the past couple games. Here's Steele on the run off the shoulder of Sedilot. Up and out of play. Already 2 minutes gone here in our first period, scheduled for 3:20s. As Steele, Cody McNeil works it back across. Steele now shoots down Main Street and caught there on the left leg by Sedilot. Up the near boards, Gabriel Cachera. One of a number of rookies for this Brampton team. They've traded away Connor Blondin to start their deadline. Joaquin Gatt coming in from KW a few days ago. Actually, may have been last night. 5 on the shot clock as they work in, and Nate Renault gets run over there after going through the crease in to help out Jacob Janke. Keeping our eye on the 2 remaining graduating players, Christopher De Silva, Nolan Marshall for the Brampton Excelsiors. 2 offensive players that would look really good on some of the contending teams in this league. Beach is already busy. They picked up lefty Josh Mills from Port Coquitlam, which, by the way, does not count towards one of the 3 allowed trades. Outside shot from the aforementioned Nolan Marshall. In on McGar. Couple chances there for Brampton. Meanwhile, on the Oakville side of things, John Logue, the rookie, who was an assist machine for this Buzz team when he was on the top offensive unit, he goes to KW. Eddie Faraday out to Whitby in exchange for Easton McCaffrey, who will wear number 13 here this afternoon. Young, good offensive player. As the shot clock sounds there against Oakville. Brampton back with it. Alex May trailing to Caden Merritt. Nate Renault to the far side on the run. Renault down to the crease looking for the quick stick. Pass from Jacob Janke. Didn't connect, as now Renault will pick him up with only 5 to shoot. Got it back up top to Janke, but no time for him to rip. St. Catharines busy as well. As we said, picked up Connor Blondin. Chuck Ross and Cody Innes, Kyle McMillan could be the biggest trade at the deadline so far, going to the Athletics, who will host the Minto Cup August 16 to 23 from the outside. Flip pass here, Cody McNeil sending it to the boards. McNeil will get it back, waiting for a screen. It comes from Liam Luza. And it was too much by the officials. One that Troy Cordingley disagrees with already in the ear hole of Sean Grenier. Jackal crashes in. Jackal takes the shot, was looking 5-hole, turned aside by the stick, rebound. Even better stop by McGar. There's Charlie Robbins, the former KW player. An off-season trade between KW and Brampton. 2 pretty good partners over the years. This Dylan Cordingley found that one off the junction. Crossbar in the post. Rebound comes all the way back to center. I don't know that they've given anybody possession, as now it's reset. Merritt. That's Caden Merritt running in here. Over to the far side, spinning back. Janke going to set the screen for the ball carrier Gat. Diving to the crease. The celebration on the Brampton side, but crease violation called there against Brampton, and trailing the play, a high stick. Going to be called here against Carter Drynan. And an early tech coming up against Troy Cordingley. You can see the slash there, taking the stick out of the hands of the player. He wanted the same call. Did the Oakville bench down to our left, and it's going to be 5-on-3 after head coach Troy Cordingley takes an unsportsmanlike penalty. Our clock on screen continuing to tick down here. It's been not noticed by the officials, despite a couple people saying something to that effect over on the bench. Only 1 penalty on the board now as well. This one will bounce away. Brampton going to their first, obviously, power play of the game, and they'll score just 16 seconds into it. Sixth shot of the game finds the back of the net here for Brampton. Nate Renault, quick stick down to the crease. And Brampton have the 1-0 lead. Jacob Janke continues his good offensive season. Kind of played a, don't want to call it a secondary role, basically maybe a 1B role last year on the offense. Stepped up after the trade. Bowie Horseman, part of that 3-player deal, along with Dante Bowen, who's now playing with the Brampton Majors, as is Connor O'Toole, who was a draft pick of the Vancouver Warriors last year. 1-0 here for Brampton as they try and sort out the clock situation. You say there should be 149. Thought maybe 144, but either way, if Brampton scores, all that's going to be moot. Second power play. After the 5-on-3. Started up top by Nate Renault. Interesting that there's no Marcelo Carrero in the lineup tonight for Brampton. Or Nolan Tandy. Younger player, but Nate Renault, a sidearm shot, is in the lineup and on the score sheet. Back-to-back goals, quick succession here for the Excelsiors, 20 seconds apart, both on the power play. Oh, a beautiful look. Right in line, Nolan Marshall picking up the assist. Crouching in for the face-off now. Tyler Clark doing so against Becker Lippert, who moved early, the rookie. Ten rookies listed on this Oakville lineup if you include John Logue, who was traded. Merritt will take it to the crease. Close to the Oakville goaltender again. This time no response. As Oakville will run it back up the floor. Had that big trade deadline last year. 9 graduating players. 8 of them found new homes on deadline day. Here's Cordingley. Back to the far side, Luza. Part of an off-season trade as a sidearm shot there from Riley Woods. The answer. .37 seconds, sorry, trying to do the math. You saw the replay there on your screen of that goal. So 20 seconds in between 2 Brampton goals. 37 seconds later, the Oakville Buzz score. Hidden ball play here. It's on the near side with Easton McCafferty. Had 5 assists in his first game as a Buzz. The other night down in Mimico, an 11-7 victory for Oakville. What a move for Boone, who comes in. Got buried right in front of the crease. Sedilot made the save, but then running through the crease was McCafferty. Going to get a chance to shine. It's been impressive, as I said, out in Whitby, but that is a stacked offense for the Warriors, who are not a lot of people talking about them, but have been good all season long. Could be a force once we get to the playoffs. Jogging in, slamming on the brakes, Owen Moore. He'll push it to the far side. 2-1 here, a minute away from the halfway mark of the period. Stunner step, Thomas Bagnall. Bagnall dancing around. He'll get shoved out wide, nearly fell as it comes back to Boone. Low in the shot clock, Charlie Boone. Bouncer scores with about a half second left to go. We're all tied up. credit the job done on the far side by Thomas Bagnall. Just catching the tail end of that as Bagnall comes in, clearing out through the middle, but good shot over the top from Boone as well. The answer for the buzz. And that is 21 seconds after Riley Woods scored. So goals in very quick succession here. Maybe take the overday as Dylan Cordingley gets it back. Recognize him with the bright blue shoes. McCafferty back up top to Cordingley. All of a sudden, this right side of the offense looks pretty good. In the middle, McCafferty. Low shot, skips up out of play, didn't hit anything, so Brampton will get possession. First one since the back-to-back power play goals. It's Landon Jackal. Up to Robbins. Outside, big high step. Rip from Nolan Marshall. They do give him the reset. Played back to Jackal again. Outside boards, Robbins. Making space on the far side. Marshall will back away from a double team. Halfway through the shot clock. Jackal was up top looking for it. It goes to Robbins instead. Shot from the far side. They will get the reset. And now picked up by Oakville. Graydon Foulon. Bringing it up across center. Steele runs around the corner. That shot bounces. Everybody discussing here. Officials anyways, and they'll come away with draw ball, it looks like. So off the draw, Brampton will take it. Trying to find the man behind the bench, behind the net, excuse me. That one bounced off a stick. And now Oakville will take it back across center. Checking the news feed, checking Twitter today, checking OntarioJuniorLacrosse.com if you want to stay up to date with all the moves going on around the league. Click on news, and there's a drop down for transactions, is where all the trades will be posted, at least the ones within the division. Also a rumor out there that Whitby picking up a goaltender from Alberta. I haven't heard anything officially official, but Whitby perhaps getting ready for playoff run. Jackal through Marshall out to the far side. The return to Caden Merritt. Those bright yellow shoes. Marshall, three-quarter release. Back-to-back saves from McCarr. Brampton picked up their own rebound. Played up through Graydon Foulon. Trailing accordingly. Slams into the defender. Still scores. Lost his stick. And when this Oakville Buzz team starts running down floor, usually good things happen for them, as it does right here for Cordingley, straight off the bench. Didn't get a lot on that loose ball, or excuse me, on the shot, with the defender right in his face. But enough to get it in the back of the net. Becker Lippert. That's three straight now for the Buzz. Bounce it across to Steele. McCafferty. Headed back towards the right side. Him and Boone. Told that they've had some early chemistry despite just playing one game. Saw them try to work the pick and roll, but didn't end up connecting. Nathan Smith, the American-born player, will bring it up to Janke. Quickly into the corner. Janke sends screens in through the middle. To the outside. De Silva. Passing back, a nice little spin move as a bouncer from the outside from Janke. Scored the first power play goal for Brampton, but not that time as it bounced wide. 6.5 to go here in the period. Accordingly, cross floor to Steele. The return pass looking for Luza. Didn't work. Boone has it on the run now. Low shot. Sedilot down to reach it. Picked out from the front of the crease. Brampton defender fell. Thought this may be an Oakville penalty coming up, but it is an extra attacker as Brampton will go to the box for the first time. Boone working it through. Owen Moore, his shot has Sedilot looking behind him. Leaning back and perhaps some help. They're at the line from a diving Owen Scott. Slashing call here against Oakville. Can't see the ball here. Oh, it's the rebound play. And again, my eye drawn to that falling Brampton defender, but that's not where the penalty was, so. Under 6 to go. Boone up top. That low shot skips wide. Penalty time not counting down here in-house now. Boone keeping it up top. That low shot from McCafferty hits off the leg of the defender. Went up out of play. Another chance. That one just squirted past the line. Here's De Silva. Towards the corner, spins back, takes a hit. Up top to Callum Witter. Janke lets it fly as Brampton trying to kill time off that penalty. Still stuck at 2 minutes. Should be a minute gone now. Went in at 5:55. So should be out at 3:55. Steele to Boone accordingly. To Boone up top. Working it back to the left side now. Quick stick Boone on the crease. Sedilot came to his right nicely to make the save. Only about 30 seconds left here in the power play. Not going to matter as Boone shoots through a defender and scores. Charlie Boone's second of the game. Has been on a tear lately, has Charlie Boone. His latest goal there, shooting through a defender, 23 goals, make it 25 on the season. Back-to-back 4-goal performances against both Mimico and Whitby for 7 and 9 points. 9 a career high in that 13-12 loss, where Oakville nearly came all the way back. Got it again to the crease. Liza scores this time on the run. Said when the Buzz get their feet moving and going downhill, good things happen. Maybe not the best day for Anthony Sedilot to this point, must be said, but another one in the back of the net for Oakville coming in transition. 4 minutes to go here in the period. 5 goals off 14 shots, though. Merritt will win the face-off. Buzz bench wanting the ball double-teamed here with Merritt with the face-off twig. He'll finally flip it out of harm's way. De Silva will bring it down. Janke to Marshall. Jacko trailing. Gat the last one off the bench. 5 left to shoot. De Silva had to recover it in the corner. Gets stuffed. Turns, still tries to shoot. And close to a back in. Yes, it was against Finn Morgan. Not the call that Oakville won at the tail end of the shot clock, but it gives Janke and company a fresh 30. Marshall, hard rip from the outside. Bounced right at Carter Drynan. He'll go up the boards to Finn Morgan. Accordingly, with 3 to go in the period. Boone. Outside. Steele. Looked off the pass to Riley Woods. Took the shot and the rebound in front of Woods. Couldn't pick it up. It'll now be Brampton. Sending it up the boards to the rookie Gabriel Kashera. Shovels it back close to that timeline. Good hands from Callum Witter. Down the boards. Nate Renault already with a goal and an assist here in the game. Renault trying to get Brampton back on the score sheet. Through the middle, low shot. Skipping off the carpet from Joaquin Gott. Brampton over the top. Renault has it to Merritt. Shoots on the run. That one skips off Magar and comes right back to the restraining line. Renault recovers it. Third straight money possession here for the Excelsiors. Janke outside. Trying to get a screen in front. Janke on the run. Will push it back across. Carson Robbins. Hard shot. Magar. Clean catch. Hard chop. There from the Brampton defender. In on his Oakville mate. Arm of the official is high again. Perfect power plays for both sides here in this game. And perhaps another one coming up. McCafferty drops it back to Boone. His shot off the end boards. And as it's picked up by Caden Kablitskis, we will get the slashing call. Nate Renault heads off. Second power play of the game upcoming for Oakville. With 1:23 left to go in our first period. 5 goals off 16 shots now for the Buzz. 2 off 15. Showing for Brampton. Steele outside. First to Boone. Now to the far side, Woods. Accordingly, Boone. Back up top, Steele again. They'll work back to Woods. He got stuffed on his way to the crease. And didn't get as much on the shot that he wanted. Ethan Challens. Up to center. He'll play it down the boards. Callum Witter. Hands team out for the Excelsiors again. Killed off most of the first penalty. As Jacko's going to take it all the way to the crease and scores. And then gives it to a player on the floor. Bagnall's going to jump in. Foulon in there as well for the Excelsiors. Merritt, Marshall, and everybody else now. Surely more penalties here after the short-handed goal from Landon Jacko. Conversation not done here between Bagnall and Janke. The official will send them their separate ways. First to look at the goal. Feet have to stay outside the crease. As that goes in, the officials do confirm with each other, and then the silky mitts turn into a different purpose for Jackal as he sat on the carpet. Haven't seen too much of this season on our broadcasts. Although there have been a couple instances in the league, but fighting majors, I mean. That not the case here. Brampton's going to get the extra penalty here. Remember, already on a power play or penalty for minute 21. A look at the exchange again. Keep your eye on the feet of Jackal. They have to stay out the entire time. He looks okay there. And then the dive. And I mean, it's so bang bang for the officials to call that cylinder rule on the dive. They got much busier after the fact too, trying to sort this out. Jackal in the box. Accordingly, almost all the way on the floor. Thinking he should be getting a 5-on-3 power play here, at least. On the left side of your screen, just under our scoreboard, Patty O'Toole getting the explanation, and neither head coach appreciating what they were given there. Bagnall for cross-checking. Jackal for roughing, and that looks to be it. Offsetting penalties. Should be 5-on-4 here in favor of Brampton, in favor of Oakville. Becker Lippert back to the line. I do think that's correct from the officials, by the way. Boone. This is a power play for Oakville with a minute left in it. 20 seconds to go here in the first period. Boone will shoot straight down Main Street. Seti Lot with the stop. Looking over to Oakville. Do not take their time out here. McCafferty and Boone playing catch. McCafferty will set the screen as the play comes back to Boone. Pulls it down. Seti Lot the stop. And a takedown. Boone into the end boards. Hard there at the back end from De Silva. Quick shot right off the whistle. Cannot beat the Brampton netminder. He's shaking his head, though, after allowing 5 here in the period. It's only 5-3, though, for the Oakville Buzz after our first period. One more check here before we go to break. Should we have anything new to report? Doesn't look like there's anything here from the league, but we know trades are being discussed. And we know there's work being done by general managers throughout the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League today. It is trade deadline day. By the way, Nick Rose in the building, the general manager of the Orangeville Northmen, whether that means anything to you at home or not. We'll take the time out. We'll keep an eye on social media. And we'll report back in about 9.5 minutes for the second period here. Oakville leads 5-3 after 1 on our featured game of the week here in the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing.
Let's go, raise up one time, go get it, it's yours, let's shine, come on.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade.
You can catch the fun with lacrosse, Canada's national summer sport. Everyone can experience the excitement of lacrosse, where fun meets fitness and friends are made. Lacrosse is one of the youngest organized sports children can play. And with 66 clubs throughout Ontario, everyone can get in on the fun. Visit playlacrosse.com. Our interactive map will help you find a lacrosse club in your area. Join the Ontario lacrosse community today. Ask a parent before going online.
Back live at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center, and we check the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League standings. You see the Northmen still on top. Six Nations Arrows now 3 games behind. There is a big traffic jam for the final 2 home playoff spots. The top 4 host the first round. Top 8 will get in. Bottom 3 left out in the cold, unfortunately. Burlington Blaze, I think, have accepted their fate, trading Rawson, Innis, McMillan. Oakville Buzz, a couple trades. Brampton Excelsiors, 1, and expecting more from the Excelsiors as it is trade deadline day here in the league. KW, an interesting one at 5-7. So are the Peterborough Lakers, by the way, 6-6. Hearing about a deal between them and Whitby. That will wait to become official before passing that along, but nothing yet as Whitby. Joel Watson, a busy man. Hope the phone charger is working to good effect. And the league scheduling just 1 game today on trade deadline day, and it is this afternoon matinee between the Oakville Buzz, who lead 5-3 over the Brampton Excelsiors. Still a power play here for the Buzz. Scored on their opening opportunity. Charlie Boone's second of the game. As the team switch sides here. Settilot and the Excelsiors defending the net down to our right, which they do now. Boone up top around the horn. Low shot coming from Riley Woods. Had a goal in that first period, but not here. As the leg of Settilot sits right on the line. Jacob Janke back the other way. Dying few seconds of the penalty. That was the initial slashing call. And down from the corner, back for Marshall. Shot. McGar was leaning right. Shot went left, but wide of everything. This one, they both go the same direction as then Merritt just be able to beat the shot clock. Wow. So that trade Whitby Peterborough is official. Be sure you're following at the OJLL on all your favorite social media platforms. And of course, OntarioJuniorLacrosse.com. Hit news and transactions to stay up to date. We'll get that one for you as the game allows. This one's going to roll for a shot clock violation, perhaps an over and back, but kept there by Cody McNeil. Possession will go to Alex May. Excelsiors running it across the floor. Merritt down towards the corner. And cut back move in the center, they score. Caden Merritt at the back end of a good play between the lefties. Just continued to pass back and forth until there was just enough room to get that shot through. Robbins there to set the screen. 4 goals now from 4 different goal scorers. Jacko with his second point. Here's Jameson Steele. He'll come over the top for the Buzz. Back down low with a step on his man. That was Riley Woods looking for his second. And again, stopped by the Brampton netminder. This one will roll out to Steele. Up top, McCafferty. Down in the corner, Cordingley. Bit of a pick and roll. Boone with the shot and Settilot with the save. Ball down for Nathan Smith. He carries it across the timeline despite Defender Zach Warren on his back. Brampton back with it. It's Gat. Out to the far side. Big high step from Jackal takes it to the crease. May have been looking for Gat on the quick stick. Less than 5 to go on the shot clock. As the rebound's picked up here by Marshall. Steps back and shoots into the defender. So the Whitby Warriors acquire Matthew Ford from the Peterborough Lakers in exchange for Robbie White, Tegan Dempers, and a first-round selection, it looks like. Oh, a pair of first-rounders, excuse me. Robbie White and Tegan Dempers. I mean, Robbie White, a huge defender for Whitby. So is there something else coming in the chamber for Joel Watson, perhaps? Wondered if Peterborough was going to make something happen at the deadline. They're kind of sneaky right there. And could be poised for an upset in the first round. Should they be one of those bottom 5, 6, 7, 8 teams headed into the playoffs. And they've done it before. Think back 2 years ago what Deacon Knott did in the playoffs against the Beaches. Nearly got past the Beaches. And then last year, Gavin Williamson, a good series between them and the Arrows. Neither of these two teams here today look to be headed to the postseason, which is why in the position they are. Looking more at the trades here on trade deadline day. Merritt to the outside. Still games to play, however, which they're doing just fine between these two teams. Nate Renault, no time for him to get a shot. 5 minutes gone here in the second period, 5-4. Oakville hanging on to this lead. Scored 5 goals off 19 shots in the first period. 3 off 17 for Brampton, who are headed back to our left again. Jackal, big high step off the bench. To Merritt. O'Toole urging his line to head off in favor of the offense, which includes Janke. Steps into a shot. That one off the shoulder of McGarr. Rebound straight to Jackal. Circling the crease, Evan Viveros scores. Low shot, McGarr didn't really get set as he was trying to chase the play in behind his net. Watch McGarr here, a big sidestep. Marshall's going to help by way of a big screen in front, and that right foot kind of dancing around for McGarr. Allows it to go through the 5-hole. Third point of the game for Landon Jackal. Buzz with the possession now. 5 off 23 for the Excelsiors, 5 off 22 for the Buzz. Here with 5.5 gone in our second period. Over the top, Cody McNeil. He'll put it back in the corner. Cutback move, Boone, rising shot, hits the glass. And it will go over and back. First one out there is Bagnall. See the leg all taped up. We saw him go down in last week's game when we were here. Merritt up top to Marshall. Back across to Merritt. Low shot caught by McGarr. A reminder, you can catch that game as well as everything we've done through the season in the archives here on the channel. Check the playlist. Go back, enjoy some of last year's action, including all the playoff games. And the OLA finals still available here on the YouTube channel. Cut to the net. Shot there for Riley Woods. Sedilot has his number here in the period. Kablinskis. Another one of what's becoming a very long list of former KW players on this Brampton roster. As Nate Renault steps into a shot. Kept alive by Viveiros. Another behind-the-back pass for Jackal now. His shot looking low on McGar. Makes the save, and it's up to center. William Simmons on the crease. Boone gets his own rebound. Had Liam Luzza there. Luzza with 2 points in that first period. Elected not to use them. Outside McCafferty. Boone looking to set a screen. Second one does come. Hard pressure from Viveiros stepping up. That's De Silva as Cody McNeil had to double clutch before shooting in on the Brampton goaltender. Owen Moore through Boone up top. Luzza looking for open space. Took a defender to him, but then couldn't get the pass back across to McNeil. Callum Witter across center. Arrived on scene in a big way last year. Mostly in the defensive end, leading transition for the Excelsiors. Outside Merritt. Low bouncer scores. Joaquin Gatt. Welcome to Brampton, his first in an Excelsior uniform. Just postures up and that sidearm shot skips through. How about 3 straight in the period now for the Excelsiors, who take a 6-5 lead. So again, it is trade deadline day here in the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League. Visit OntarioJuniorLacrosse.com. Hit the news tab and transactions to stay up to date. And of course, follow at the OJLL on social media. Games tomorrow. St. Catharines traveling to Orangeville. That's a 7 o'clock start time. Going to be a good one. The Oakville Buzz will be down the QEW. 403 combo to Six Nations. 7 o'clock start time there as well. Then Monday night, KW in Burlington, Toronto in Peterborough. Our crew headed to Six Nations on Wednesday night, your next broadcast. Orangeville, Six Nations. If that doesn't get you going, I don't know what is. And Liam Luzza shoots through traffic and tries to get the Oakville offense going. Steele to the outside. Luzza through the middle, sidearm. And that will tie us up at 6 once more. Boone getting the assist, his 3rd point of the game. We credit the secondary to Cordingley. I believe it was Steele, though, but either way, 6-6 your scores. Bagnall up to Woods. This is Cordingley. Working it back to Steele. He'll slam on the brakes. Back to the crease. Cutback move, Woods. And that's about 4 or 5 chances in this period he cannot solve. The Montreal goalie. He's good for a couple highlight reel saves per game. Don't believe me, go back and watch Sunday night's game. Brampton and Beaches. Seti-Lot kept that one close. Here's Bagnall. A little skipper controlled by Boone up to Steele. McCafferty the last one out there. Working it through to Warren, comes through center. That shot cleanly blocked by the stick of a Brampton defender. It'll be picked up by Kublinskis. Nolan Marshall. Screen in front of him, shoots and scores. So after Oakville take a lead. Tied back again, Brampton. And again with Nolan Marshall, the star next to his name on the league website means he's a graduating player, him and Chris Da Silva. Wonder if this might not be their last game wearing maroon and gold. Give Callum Witter an assist. Big scramble on the near boards. We got a broken stick out there, but Oakville with possession. Outside screen coming. That's going to chase Liza. Back to the far side. Boone, low shot. Caught right on the toe there by Sedilot on his left leg. Witter here. Became the 9th different Excelsior to register a point on that last goal. As now Gat leaves it here for Janke. He's got a pair. Pair of points, that is. Jackal back up top. Janke looking for space. Not going to find it. Jackal was headed off the floor before the outside rip. Excuse me, that's Nate Renault. And can't beat the shot clock. Jamison Steele. Pass the restraining line, low shot. McCafferty. This ball's gonna skip. Not back over as Steele brings it in again. Shot clock did reset as Steele has it. Working there along with Woods. Steele dropped it, recovers. And a shot just past the left of the Brampton goal. Extra work takes it away from Kablinskis in the corner, and the possession extends here on the side of the Buzz. Woods. Back to the righties. McCafferty, Steele. Screen set in front. Steele trying to get it through to Woods. Ball's going to pop right down on his feet again, and again he's stopped by Sedilot. Interference call, however, gives it to Oakville. And another chance. I mean, if your Woods just keep firing, one's got to drop eventually, does it not? Out to the far side, Boone. Back here to Liza on hat-trick watch. Not this time, off the leg of Sedilot. To the outside boards. Brampton recovers. Got to beat the 8 count, and I don't think, whoa boy, maybe just. But it rolls back to Oakville, and Bagnall, who recovers the ball here for Oakville. Trailing by 1, 7-6 with just about 7 minutes left. On the run, Cordingley fired it off the glass. Picked up though by Boone, jump shot. Sedilot will steer it into the corner. Hidden ball play. McCafferty faked like he had it. It was Steele all along. Getting it through McNeil. Now the shot lands in front of Sedilot, bounces out to Steele, and he'll score. Now another quirk of the crease roll. Make sure this ball comes out. I think just on the line. Official right there to signal yes. And that is Mac Abbott. Veteran official here in Ontario and would be familiar with Ontario rules, as opposed to some other rule books like NLL or otherwise. That goal saying unassisted. 5 different goal scorers now combining for 7 for the Buzz. Boone trying to force his way in through to the crease. Pushed outside by Ethan Challens. Remember this Brampton defense without Connor Blondin. Traded yesterday down to St. Catharines. Draft picks coming back in Brampton's favor. They got a mitt full of them. And last year, as Bagnall, excuse me. Nifty little move. Tried the twister, and then Sedilot comes out of the crease to throw the screen. Brampton again late in the 8 count. Will work it across to De Silva. Quick stick on the crease. Renault's has gone through it. Officials don't pick it up as the scramble is on over in the corner. Lost ball. De Silva picks up and will slow things down, realizing he needs to get to the bench. Nathan Smith to Nolan Marshall. Next Brampton shot will be number 30 here on the game, Merritt. Will it be him that takes it in and not going to count as he's in the crease? McGar, though, fell, getting up slowly in the crease. Looks like he's okay. There's a Brampton player knocked down as well. Meanwhile, back the other way. Close play in on the Brampton crease. Steele to Finn Morgan. He takes top spot, and Sedilot will turn that aside. Rebound straight up to Cordingley. He got swarmed. Ball back towards center where Brampton will recover. Hero Kishera slowing it down and waiting. No numbers there between him and Kublinskis as Oakville did well to get back quickly. Final 5 here in the period. Cross to Vivieros. Ethan Vivieros lowers the shoulder and a moving screen called against Marshall. Cannon Schmidt knocked down, newcomer to the Oakville lineup. This is played up top. Working it through Luza. Looked like Boone thought he was going to continue momentum all the way down to the crease. But Luza picks it up out of the corner. Sends a bouncer in. Rebound right to Boone, who gets swarmed. Penalty coming here. Both officials have it. And it's going to be against Brampton. Haven't had one of these in a while since that first period scrum. Down in the crease. The officials will talk about it. And keep your eye on 11 here. High stick cross check maybe. And it is a high stick against Callum Witter, the last one to arrive at the left side of that set. So Oakville 1 for 2 on their power play chances today. And go back in this 7-7 tie game. Steele. Through Boone and the corner. That's Cordingley down there by the crease. Has it now. Popping up top, Riley Woods. He's got it down to Cordingley. Sneaking in on the near side was McNeil. They can't get the ball to him. Bounced up to Caden Kublinskis. Partial breakaway. Kublinskis all alone got drilled just as he was about to shoot. And now it's played up in Oakville's direction. On his horse was the rookie Ryder Simpson, getting all the way back to set up the power play chance again. McCafferty head fake to Boone. Back towards Luza. Lost it in the corner. Excelsiors recover. Pressuring the ball though is Boone. In and along the boards and going to get the 8-second call. Nobody took timeouts in that first period, by the way, so both head coaches with a pocket full. Steele and McCafferty. Steele up top. The sidearm skips off Sedilot and goes into the screening. Fresh 30 seconds coming here for the Buzz power play. 35 seconds left in that. Low shot, McCafferty. That stumbles the Brampton defender, Nolan Candy. There's now a shot from up top. Sedilot makes the save. Candy still trying to jump it out at the side of the crease. Steele with a screen. Working it over, McCafferty gets the reset. Picked up in the corner. Steele with it. Looking for McCafferty, rides up off his stick. Brought back down, though, by Owen Moore. Moore to McCafferty. Time expiring here on the power play, and now the extra player back on. The play is on for Oakville, and off to his right nicely was Sedilai. We'll take down back behind the play. Merritt, meanwhile, in towards the net. One pass too many, perhaps, from Renault. All the way down floor is Finn Morgan by himself. One-on-one, turned aside by the shoulder of Sedilai. Kashera to Smith. Puts the brakes on at the restraining line. Waiting here for Janke. And Merritt now. Minute and a half left in this second period. Tied at 7s. It's number 7, Marshall. First shot, wasn't sure where it was. Then, oh my car. Came across on the cat shot. And the big stick save. How about back-to-back from both goaltenders here in the dying minutes of this second period. 2-on-1 for Brampton, led by Witter across to Marshall. Big fake. Same result, though, as Magar swings the stick out. Jackson Magar, the rookie, has barely played at all this season, showing what he's got here today in the dying minutes of this period. And then Boone on the crease, stopped by Sedilai. Nathan Smith. Postures up here on Carter Dryden. Going to be a pretty good defender in this league. Dryden as he develops. Merritt down to the corner to Jackal. Janke takes the shot, just missed wide. Picking it up, Jackal again as it dropped down. And that shot, Oakville can't recover it. Not sure they ever really had possession despite the timeout being called from the Oakville bench. Buzz will probably ask for a few more seconds, but we'll see if they get it or not. First timeout credited to either team. Gives us a chance to look at a couple of these stops. On Marshall, big move. And, you know, the defender may have just got in the way of that to upset the play. I believe it was Zach Warren running back. But in the moment, it looked like Jackson Magar had made one heck of a save. Jackson Magar, 35 minutes in the game against Mimico. That was the 11-7 win. Took over in that game. Shot there from the Buzz. May get one more chance. Boone walking in. Did so right at the horn. And Sedilai will stop that. A 4-2 period in favor of the Excelsiors, who trailed by 2 at the break. Means we are knotted up at 7. Checking in to see if there's any more news out of the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League. Don't see anything except for that Whitby Warriors trade. Again, acquiring Matthew Ford from Peterborough in exchange for Robbie White, Tegan Demper's first round in 2029 and a first round in 2030. We're trading draft picks in 2030 today. That's what we're doing. More to come from the trade deadline. Be sure you're following at the OJLL. Be sure you're subscribed here to the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League YouTube channel for all the action around the league all season long. 7-7 tie through 2 periods. We'll be back in about 9 minutes with the conclusion here from the track in Oakville.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing.
Let's go, raise up one time, go get it, it's yours, let's shine, come on.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade.
You can catch the fun with lacrosse, Canada's national summer sport. Everyone can experience the excitement of lacrosse, where fun meets fitness and friends are made. Lacrosse is one of the youngest organized sports children can play. And with 66 clubs throughout Ontario, everyone can get in on the fun. Visit playlacrosse.com. Our interactive map will help you find a lacrosse club in your area. Join the Ontario lacrosse community today. Ask a parent before going online.
7-7 tie here going into the third period at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center in Oakville, Ontario. 2 goals off 14 shots in the period for Oakville. 4 goals off 20 for the Excelsiors. Through 2 periods, that's 7 off 37 for Oakville, 7 off 33 for Brampton. Picked off in the other way. Excelsiors quickly. Tyler Clark. Little twist shot. In on Jackson McGarr, who was as good as he's been all season long. And his season is only 35 minutes long, mind you, but was great in that period as we've already got a penalty coming up. I believe to Oakville, a tripping call here against Thomas Bagnall. Excelsiors power play will get their first opportunity since very early on in that first period. Scored back-to-back after a 5-on-3 opportunity. Cutting through the middle, Nate Renault, who did have one of those power play goals. Stopped by McGarr. Oakville, again, only 8 seconds to get up and across center. May have just made that with Blake Tonelli. Dylan Cordingley. Towards the corner. Boone on the run. Stuffed by a pair of Brampton defenders. Shot off the foot of one of them, up out of play, and Boone will get a fresh 30. Off the bench, Steele. Looks like some new tape on the leg of Jamison Steele. Easton McCafferty. Down to Boone in the corner. No shot for Charlie Boone, who is on hat-trick watch along with Liam Luza here in this game. That exchange stuffed, but it's taken the power play time for Brampton down to just 40 seconds. Owen Marshall. To Nate Renault. Merritt, Jackal. Up top, Renault, quick stick down towards the corner, Janke. Does have the other power play goal for the Excelsiors, straight down Main Street. Renault stopped by McGarr. Jackal is a short-handed marker. And it looks like the Buzz are going to kill this one off with just a handful of seconds left. And Owen Moore slowing things down. Accordingly off the bench. Back to Moore. 10 seconds to shoot. Moore over to the far side, stepping into it. Low shot from Luza, skipped off the carpet. And up and down floor. Again, no John Logue for the Buzz as he's traded to KW, an interesting one. Not often you see rookies dealt for draft picks on deadline day, but that's the story with Logue headed to KW. Merritt bouncing around. We'll put it back towards the corner. Hard collision up top of the shooter spot, and both players go down. I believe Janke for Brampton, Ryder Simpson for Oakville, and those two are going to face each other again as a low shot. Skips off of McGarr. And now Janke and Simpson will try and, at least Simpson will try and head off. We're going to look at this collision. I think they're going to call it a trip here against Riley Simpson. Janke going to stay on the floor, hobbling around. You see him bent over. Well, now you might be able to see him bent over at the side of the crease. He's got the ball here. Through Marshall. Renault. Jackal going to set the screen. Only one left not involved is Merritt. And not going to matter as Marshall sends it through. A 3-for-4 power play afternoon for the Excelsiors. Excelsiors with an 8-7 lead. Braden Foulon. He'll leave it back here for Boone. Steele and Boone playing long distance catch. Now to McCafferty in the corner. Wheels over the top. Steele one-on-one gets the shot. Seti-Lat the save. Rebound pops back out. The Excelsiors have it. And we'll get it across the line. Christopher De Silva to Robbins. Merritt. Back to De Silva again. He'll cross the restraining line outside Viveros. Shoots past a big collision. Rebound up and Bagnall all alone. Seti-Lat. Very calm in that crease, just kind of raised up the left glove. Bounced off the hand and went up and out. Boone to Cordingley now as the Buzz get another possession. Cordingley thought about shooting, now does. A bit of a change-up. Down to meet it was Seti-Lat. Alex May. Across the timeline, Nate Renault to Merritt off the bench. Caden Merritt. Outside, Renault had the corner and rang it off the junction. Nate Renault already with 3 points, was that close to number 4. 5 minutes into this period. 8-7 Excelsiors on the back of a power play marker, their third of the game. Up top, Marshall came out of his stick. Now back to Renault, shoots through traffic and scores. Looked like it may only be a matter of time with the way he was shooting coming out of the locker room. And a bit of a renewed sense on offense for Nolan Marshall as well. As you see the seeing eye sidearm shot. Gets its way through. Reminder to download the official OJLL app as well if you're headed to OntarioJuniorLacrosse.com. Got stuff to do before midnight tonight. You can take the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League with you by downloading the app, staying up to date on all your schedules, scores, standings, and stats from around the league. Up top, big swim move. Finn Morgan gets it back to Steele. Found an opening, shoots. Seti-Lat off his foot. Finn Morgan gets there first. One of those little water bug players for the Buzz. And Finn Morgan, the rookie, going to be pretty good in a couple years. Steele back to Morgan. Cutting through the middle and swarmed himself was Owen Moore. Shot off the backboards, nearly deflected back towards Seti-Lat's crease. But picked out by Clark, who brings it across center. Janke. Far side skip. Carson Robbins. Stops Janke on the run straight down Main Street. Looked like he skipped it off McGarr. Didn't get the reset. Not going to matter as Oakville's out with it. Cannon Schmidt, who by his shame is not an offensive player. On the run, Boone. Schmidt had thoughts of going back after the Brampton player who hit him into the boards. Now Excelsiors have to hurry things up. It's Kashera who does to beat the 8 count. Jackal's back out there after that low leg collision. Played to Renault. Round a screen, shot right off the face of McGarr. Official's going to check on him. Big pile up, everybody goes down. Arms of the officials go high. as it's brought back in by Oakville. Quick stick to the crease, split save, Setilad. And we'll get the slashing call. Leave against Brampton. Gonna come on the breakout. Oh, yeah, you think? Joaquin Gatt. Slashing call as Oakville player was falling. Eventually Excelsiors trying to get the attention of Troy Cordingley. Not sure that's the greatest of ideas, but it is another power play here for the Buzz. 1 for 3 coming into this, their 4th opportunity, and it starts with an over and back violation. Officials heard enough and jumps in. Here's Merritt. Partial screen there from Jacko. Merritt still with it. Ryder Simpson chases him. It was Simpson who went off at the other end of that collision with Jacko. A lot of oohs and ahs. Bagnall had the ball caught up in his midsection and took off, so gets awarded back here to Brampton. Should have been a reset. Officials have the count down on the floor now as it was reset late. Sounds like about a 2 or 3 second difference between the actual clock and the count. Jackal lets one rip, and now it'll reset. Jackal dumped. Interference here against the Buzz. 50 seconds remaining on the power play, and most of it's been spent in Oakville's end. It is the Buzz, man up here. Jackal headed to the front of the crease as Janke passes to Marshall. Halfway through the shot clock. Janke and Marshall again. Janke going to head off here as the kick save made by Jackal. Rebound will bounce right back to Bagnall. 20 seconds left to go. Oakville can take the whole thing down if they so choose, but Boone and Cordingley headed in quickly. Steal. Of course, Oakville's power play. Though you wouldn't know it. A couple big whacks there for Kublinskis. Came back over center. Now Brampton can and do kill the whole thing. They lead 9-7. 35 seconds away from the midway point of this third period. Merritt. Quickly moving the ball over. Merritt getting it back. Had a man all alone on the crease in Carson Robbins and couldn't find him with a pass. Meanwhile, out and down the floor, too far for Lippert to bring it down. Lippert working through the corner, got hit. That popped the ball free. Big time pile up here. Guess who else is involved? Finn Morgan. Oakville player falls at the bottom of the pile. And Brampton going to get possession as he fell on top of the ball. Clark. Across the restraining line. Shoved down. Played up to Janke. Through Marshall now. Clark headed his way off. Renault and Merritt are the lefties. Jackal will come join them. 10 left to shoot. Renault doesn't. Big screen in front. Bagnall got blown up, and so did the Excelsiors offensive play. You know, both teams sort of lamenting the fact that they played a lot of close games, but been on the wrong end of those close ones. Another 2-goal contest here. Which team will break through? Right now, it's going to be the Oakville offense breaking through. Luza finally getting that elusive hat trick. That'll pull the score back within 1. 43rd shot for Oakville. That equals Brampton's total. See a defender lose a stick through the middle, and a lot of screens going both ways to open the door wide open for that Liam Luzza seeing eye shot. Again, we told you earlier on the trade deadline pickup from last year, Luzza. McCafferty and Boone picking up assists. 4 points for Luzza, 4 points now for Boone, 2-2. Can they find the equalizer? Yes, they can. Far side, Riley Woods. All knotted up at nines here, just inside 9 minutes to play. On back-to-back goals in quick succession, 27 seconds apart for the Buzz. William Luzza and Riley Woods. Boone and McCafferty credited with assists on that goal as well. Cannon Schmidt trying to send it deep, intercepted. Nathan Smith back to Whittem. Robbins, Merritt. Halfway through the shot clock, Robbins will get it back. Quick stick far side. And McGar across. Numbers here for Oakville. Steele passed perhaps a little bit late as he ran out of time and space to shoot. Boone to McCafferty. Troy Cordingley told us before the game that they've started to develop chemistry in on the last 2 goals that have brought Oakville back even. Steele over the top to Boone. McCafferty will set the screen. Didn't get it on the second defender, who's going to get called for a hold. On the high defensive play, it's Gabriel Kashera. Fifth power play of the game coming up here to Oakville. Huron 19, yeah, one hand on the stick. As soon as it gets up to the shoulder. Don't know that there really was much of a tug there, but you can see the sight line. Ours was the same as that of Mac Abbott, the official. Really had no choice but to make that call. Here's Cordingley. Boone, Steele, working it through, now to the far side. Popping in and thinking better of it. Woods, he'll give to Boone, who shot. Swallowed up by Setilat. Last power play didn't go so well for the Buzz. It was all down in this end. See if the Excelsiors can kill it off in chunks again. Merritt. Under 10 to shoot. He does. It's caught up in the equipment there of McGar. Oakville back, closing in on halfway through this 2-minute power play. Outside, Luzza, Boone, McCafferty into the corner. Steele, too hot to handle as it came back to Moore. McCafferty recovers. Hard shot, Luzza not content with just 3 goals on the day. Looking for 4, missed. It's Callum Witter headed down on a 2-on-1 for Brampton, and he'll pull out. Probably a wise decision. Brampton can't take the whole thing down, can't take more than 35 seconds because Charlie Boone came up with the ball. Graydon Foulon. Accordingly trailing, Boone with it. Cody McNeil out on the far side, cutting backdoor. Get a penalty here. Was that gloved in the crease? We're getting a penalty shot. Six minutes left to go. Penalty shot awarded here to Oakville. See if we can get another look. Keep your eye on the crease here. Yeah, gloved in the crease. Good call. 6 minutes left to go in a 9-9 tie, and Charlie Boone will be the shooter for the Oakville Buzz. One-on-one with Sedilot, missed. 16 seconds remaining here in the power play, so Excelsior's not quite out of the woods yet. We'll go back to center for a draw ball. And did we lose some time off the clock? Perhaps. A couple seconds added. Merritt and Becker Lippert back to the face-off dot. And Lippert has been pretty good here this afternoon. Turning into one of those draw players you start to fear. If we lost time off the clock, I think we probably lost time off the penalty clock too, which I wonder if that's the issue. 9 goals off 47 for the Buzz, 9 off 45 for the Excelsiors. Lippert's got another one to Finn Morgan. Troy accordingly wants him to speed things up and then slow things back down. On the crease, Riley Woods circled to that side. Excuse me, that's Finn Morgan, because of course it is. Got a good shot as a result. Through Steele to Morgan. Cutting through the middle, Owen Moore gets shoved outside. Big high step for Morgan. Round his back, Steele. He'll work it back to a good shooting position and bags it off of Sedilot. Morgan was heading off. Got back right at center. Owen Moore. Back to Boone now. Closing in on 5 minutes left in regulation. Over the top, McCafferty to the far side. Here's Boone shooting over top of a pile. Sedilot will drag it back into his crease. We get the violation. And an Excelsior's possession coming up. Clark to Renault. He's sitting on hat-trick watch. So is Nolan Marshall. Those the only two multi-goal scorers for the Excelsiors here this afternoon. Shot clock count is on at the bottom of your screen with Mac Abbott. In and out of the stick of Renault. 5 seconds left to shoot. Renault has a man all alone. It bounces off the stick of Carson Robbins. Oakville with it back with 4.5 left to go. Bagnall will leave it here in the stick of Charlie Boone. McNeil looking to return it to Boone. That one skipped errant, but momentarily is Cordonley back to Woods. He spins and fires. Up for grabs. Bouncer brought down here. And Brampton head back over center. Alex May, a nice recovery. It'll be left to Merritt. Inside of 4 minutes left here in regulation. Jackal halfway through his shot clock. The Oakville bench urging him to shoot. It now comes back to Joaquin Cat. His shot wide. They did reset the shot clock. Stick knocked out of the hands of Merritt. Bagnall, the guilty party there to pick up the loose ball that resulted. Bagnall to McCafferty. Newcomer on this Oakville Buzz team. Boone wants him to come back to the ball. Played back through McNeil, now Steele as the lefties work the cycle. Back to Boone, only 5 to shoot, trying desperately to get to the crease. Witter wasn't going to let him. And then Sedilot made the stop when the shot did come. Kablinskis knocked out of his stick. And tapped at by Kablinskis. Could perhaps make an argument for delay of game, but Finn Morgan will pick up and we get restarted. Here's McCafferty. Easton McCafferty. Quickly to the far side, down to the crease. Finn Morgan, no passing options, so stepped in himself with Owen Scott all over him. got a good chance. Robbins will find Jackal as Brampton set up one more time. Out of the corner, Renault. Oh my goodness. The hat trick in style. Nate Renault. There is not much room to put this ball in, but you can see McGarr comes off the post just a little too much, opening that space, and it finds the back of the net. Couple games coming up for you this week. Our crew will be at the ILA for Orangeville Six Nations, 8 o'clock start time on Wednesday. Then Friday night headed to Peterborough, so is St. Catharines. That's going to be a good one. Oh, beautiful shot from Renault. And you can see as McGarr, I mean, still a rookie goaltender. Like we said, hasn't played a lot this season, but as he came off the post, it was covered, and then that extra little lean opened it up, and just enough for Renault to get his hat-trick goal. Turns it into a one-goal game inside the 2-minute warning. Oakville possession. Bagnall in behind everybody. Dives! And Settilot up to meet the ball. Brampton will bring it down despite their bench screaming for a crease violation. It's Witter. Pressure coming. In on Callum Witter. He'll leave it for Janky to Marshall. Down towards the corner. Hack there on the ball carrier as it's played back to Renault. Just completed his hat trick from long distance. Picked up in front. Janky buried. Carson Robinson towards the corner. So are a pair of Buzz players picked up by Brampton. Graham Foulon in there to throw a bump. Callum Witter down the boards in towards the corner. Inside the final minute here, Brampton trying to hang on to this one-goal lead. And it's Janky to Witter. Played back down the boards. Robbins through a first pair, gets chopped and falls, and timeout called from the Brampton bench. Robbins gets up and has something to say there to Becker Lippert. Timeout called with only 9 seconds left to go in the shot clock of the Excelsiors. 41 to go here in the period, so Oakville should get one more shot. Here's a look at the Bagnall breakaway chance. Wow. Be sure you're subscribed here to the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League's YouTube channel. If you hit the like button and share it around, the algorithm will be more like to recommend videos and games just like this one. Of course, follow the playlist all season long as well. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss any of the action all season long. I'm going to have to get an influencer to actually do that whole speech for us. You won't believe what the next 40 seconds have in store, folks. But first, a word from our sponsor. Nate Renault, not our sponsor, the ball carrier now for the Excelsiors, taking it to the outside. Again, that was already late in the shot clock of Brampton. And as it expires here, timeout immediately called by Troy Cordingley with 30.6 seconds left to go in the period. This will be the last one for the Buzz. Again, it's trade deadline day here in the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League. Don't see any new updates. Although I wonder if we may get something post-game. Again, teams do have until midnight. And they do get 3 trade deadline trades this year. Oakville, Whitby burned 1 with the Faraday trade, St. Catharines, Burlington, probably the biggest one of the day so far. Chuck Rotson going to St. Catharines. Josh Mills going to Toronto, doesn't count to that. Whitby doesn't count. John Logue to KW doesn't count. So perhaps still more coming. Here's Cordingley up to Boone as we're back underway off the end boards, and then on the back of the net. Sedilot's going to pick up. No one to the bench. Is Sedilot going to go for it? Bombs it down and caught by Kablinskis. He's got Callum Winter with him, and it's in. Brampton fans appreciate that breakout play that ends up in the back of the net. A goalie assist here to close this one out. $11 different Excelsiors combining for points here, including Anthony Sedilot, who picks up an assist on the empty net goal. 11-9 here at the track. And 50 shots on goal. Sedilot will turn one more aside for good measure. And the Excelsiors are going to win 11-9, just their second win of the season. Coming in a hurry, Marcus Medill to congratulate the young goaltender from Montreal. And the rest of the Excelsiors, again, a team that's been in full sale mode here on trade deadline day. Same story with Oakville, but perhaps you could hear the cheer, what it means to this team and their fans for win number 2 on their season. Final reminder to stay up to date with everything in the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League by following at the OJLL on your favorite social media platform and OntarioJuniorLacrosseLeague.com. Click the news tab and the transactions drop down to follow any more trades that break today before midnight. Our producer today, Ryan Harkness, our director, Chris Main, on behalf of them and the JVI Sports Network and the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League, I'm Matthew Carrick. Your final score, Brampton 11, Oakville 9. So long from the Toronto Rock Athletics Center. Enjoy your weekend. We'll talk to you on Wednesday.